Lot going on all week, but before all of that, we're delighted to say we're joined again in the studio by founder and CEO of Downtown in Business. That's Frank McKenna. So, Frank, what has caught your eyes in the paper this week?
Good morning, guys. Great to see you again. So, a few things. I think the first thing from a business perspective, we've had a group of leading entrepreneurs, business leaders from across the country calling on the Chancellor to relook at his plans to increase corporation tax. Currently 19%, about to go up to 25% by 2025. You'll be aware of the pressures and the contraction of the economy over the past 2 years due to all sorts of things, mostly, of course, COVID and potentially the reaction to that, which we may get into a bit later on. But the headline in the Times was, cancel tax rise to boost investment, say business chiefs. I thought the headline could have been, business leaders call on a Tory government to be conservative.
Oh, I'm with you. I will be calling on that as well, Frank. Don't you worry, as you well know.
Because of...
You're being controversial this morning, Frank.
We've had 18 tax rises of one way or another over the past 7 or 8 years. Conservative administration during that time. And I do think that, you know, when you start to consider and reflect how we need to get the economy moving again, then this idea of sort of silver bullets, you know, a handout here, a gimmick there, it's not going to help in the longer term future of economic growth. So we really do need to get back to the point of seeing who grows the economy, who drives jobs, who bring investment, and that's business. And I'm not seeing many things that are coming from government, from the Chancellor, to suggest that they're getting that. And you know, it's quite surprising, isn't it, that you've actually got, as I say, a Conservative administration, and we're actually having to call for tax cuts.
And I think, you know, there's lots of things to unpick there. You know, people question even the windfall tax. I mean, how does business know what's happening if out of the blue they can be taxed on something? Why go into something speculative that could give high gains, also gives big losses if you don't know what's going to happen? And actually, Philip and I, we were talking about this a little bit earlier on. What is the upset now on the Conservative backbenchers that Boris has to worry about? Is it the Sue Gray report? We'll be talking about that a little bit later on. Or is it not being a Conservative and introducing these tax increases and not being a champion for business, which we have always been, but at the moment it's getting lost?
Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs, isn't it, really, when you've got a self-confessed Blairite, new Labour man, telling us Conservatives that you need to be more pro-business, you need to cut taxes. I mean, what a sad state of affairs.
Hey, but Blair's coming back, isn't he? He's got a big expo going on. Yeah. Will you be there cheering in the front crowd?
I will be there. I will be there. I don't think it's going to be a new political party. It's certainly not the product that's been sold to me, should I say? But there's some interesting.
So have they been in touch with you about this?
On the 30th.
Okay, well, give us a little bit of. It's in the papers today. Give us a little bit of an insight. What's happening with this event?
It's a conference that's
Blair's doing
pulled together, Future Britain, because you know Blair and some of the people around Tony Blair. He runs an institute now that does come up with some fantastic ideas, in my opinion.
Give us a job.
Very
qualify that, into
very business friendly. I have to say. And the conference is pulling together some internationally renowned speakers, but also people like Ruth Davidson. So I'll be really interested to hear what she's got to say. And, you know, it's a progressive audience, I suppose it would be described as, and there's even talk of President Macron being there. So it'll be an interesting day.
And various MPs who crossed the floor from various parties to go into that other failed party, kept changing its name, change.org, they're meant to be speaking as well.
I think that is probably the reason why nobody would be daft enough to try and establish a new political party. And it's